In this video, you will learn how to add description to a web service entry point. And if I open up user controller, for example, I have many web service endpoints here. And if I look at the get user details web service endpoint, for example, I have here the method name, which is HTTP get, and then I have path, and then I have get user. And this get user or update user here or delete user here is actually a method name that we have in our Java code. So if I go back to my Spring Tool Suite, and now if I open a user controller class, and here I have method get user, so this method name is being displayed here in my API documentation. I don't like that, and I would like to change it. And the way we can change it is by using a special annotation, which is called API operation. And I will add it at the top of the method. So that's called API operation. And it can take a few parameters. Let me import API operation first. And now if I click on it, it can take value, it can take nodes, tags, and so on. So above each of these methods here, there is a summary. So if we provide a value, it's going to be a brief description of this operation. And this is exactly what I need. I need to provide a brief description about my web service entry point. And then I can use nodes, which is a verbose description of the operation. So let's go back to user controller. And for the API operation, I will provide value. And this is going to be, for example, get user details web service endpoint. And as nodes, I will provide a more descriptive text. For example, this web service endpoint returns user details and then use public user ID in URL path, for example, and then users and then public user ID here. All right. So now if I run my application, the documentation for this web service endpoint should be updated. Let's do that. Let's look if my application has started. And now let's go back to Safari and refresh this page. Okay, I'll open up user controller, and here it is, users. Now instead of the method name, like in create user, for example, I have a better description, the get user details web service endpoint. And if I open it up, I have a verbose description of this operation. So this web service endpoint returns user details and so on. So this is much better and provides some valuable information to our API users. Now, one more thing I would like to show you in this video is how to take this description out of our Java code and put it into a property file. We have already seen it. We've done it in one of our previous videos. So basically what I need to do, I need to copy this, cut it and paste it into a property file. I'll go to my resources, application properties, and I will paste it here. And now I will need to create a key using which I can access this text. So we have already used a key for the header description. I can, for example, follow a similar pattern, for example, user controller, because this web service endpoint is inside user controller. And then I can say get user API operation nodes, like this. And now I will use this key to read this text. I'll go to my API operation nodes, and here I will use $sign and then curly brackets, and inside of the curly brackets I will paste that key. So now I can save this, and I will restart my application and see if I can still see the text in the description of my web service endpoint. So I will start it up, bring up the console. Okay, it started. Go back to the browser window and refresh it. Open up user controller, and here it is. So it's working. All right. Now please go ahead and update other web service endpoints like get users, create users, and replace this method name with a better description, and then add a little description to describe what this API operation does in more details in this section.